welcome to Flooring Models Kit Review time. Today we've got Eduard's 1/72nd scale FW190 A-5 Heavy Fighter. This is their weekend edition. You might know recently we've done some very large version of this, the 1/32nd version with everything thrown at it. This is completely down the other side. So I thought it'd be nice to have a look at some of the smaller stuff. So as you can see down here, very nice box art on the front with the actual fighter itself. A little bit of information just down here on the side. Kit number for this one is 7436. Okay, I've just got running around, generally around the box, and then obviously we've got some details about the squadron, and then obviously for the colour call outs, things like that. Now this is their 72nd stuff, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't really seen much about them. I don't know if these will hold it. Probably not. There we go, one more. There we go. So as you can see down in the box, there isn't a great deal to it, but that is basically it. Now the weekend editions tend to be the more sort of simplified versions of the actual kit, okay? So, you know, don't expect obviously the usual thing with Eduard with all the resin and the photo etch and all the bits and pieces. This is one of the weekend kits, so it is designed really to be put together in a single weekend. So we have down here a little bit of blurb all about it and this very nice little booklet. Obviously, you know, it is the 190. There's multiple different variants of this out there, so that's why they've sort of done it this way. So as you can see, we've got a little bit of spruce trees, and blued out means you're not going to actually use them. So you've got your colour call outs down in here and then straightforward into the build. So we've got a nice little cockpit going together down there. We've got the seats. It's using decals for harnesses. Obviously in this scale that's probably not a bad thing. Okay, going together, so we've got a very simplified engine as well going down in here, a little bit of the exhaust work going through, and then that all important cockpit and instrument panel being fitted in. Then, like the big brother, we've got that big wing spar going down in the middle there, and a few pieces in those. The wheel well covers being fitted down into this one, and then the wing section going in above. It's got the guns going in there, a few little nicks needed to make into the kit. Okay, and then underwing section obviously being then the fuselage dropped on top, the top areas being fitted down into there, and then control surfaces being put on. Nice to see we've got separate ailerons, okay, but the actual the tails themselves and everything are in one piece. Rings for the actual nose system being fitted down in there, and then turning it around this way you can see we've actually got the gear being fitted on there, and obviously all about the gear down in there. And then the same way with the doors being fitted in there. Okay, and then on this side showing about the canopy being put in there. Some nice detail for the canopy considering the scale. Then we've got the little prop on there on the front. Okay, and then back over this way you can see we've got the colour call outs and for the markings, as you can see going down in there. So we've got down here 9JG2, which is July 1943, and 5JG54, which obviously the Eastern Front ones in that nice darker colour scheme, obviously with the heart down on the side for Hartmann, okay, from summer 1943. So some nice moments down in there, and then obviously your stencil data down on the back. Now decals themselves, I think we can probably go to a closer camera here. You see, you have got, actually, considering its scale, you have got some very nice decals down in here. Now, if I can get the backing sheet off, there we go. As you can see, some very nice decals. Full, a funny thing is really, you've got full SWAT stickers on the side and then broken up ones here. I'm not quite sure what the difference being. Okay, but anyway, there we go, all the way through. You can see kill markings, a little bit of instrument work down there showing onto the decals for the panel, and then on here we've got the wing walkways, the usual warning signs and your various bits and pieces. But again, for the scale, you have to say they are very, very nicely done. Okay, now down here we'll look at that one last. Get the baggie. So it is going to be a bit of a tiddler, let's be honest. Okay, but overall, as you can see, that's not a bad fit. Just generally looking at it, that's actually very nicely detailed. The only thing which is a bit of a shame here, the plastic has taken a few little hits. You might notice we walk our way around here, we got some scuffing on there, but generally I think if we look at it from here, you can see we've got some very nice details in the skin, surface texture, some riveting, raised and recessed details down on here. Okay, and then working our way down, you can see we've got the control surfaces are all ribbed. Looking at this fuselage belly, again, very nice details all over this one. beautifully engraved, very nice for something so small. Okay, and then we've obviously got the fuselages down the sides. Again, all the detailings there. We've got the riveting. You see, it's a highly polished mould down there. That is very, very nice, very shiny. Okay, very nice indeed. So actually, when you're looking at it and looking at all the surface detail and the control surfaces and that, it's still probably better detailed than actually the 1/32 Rebel one. So that isn't too bad at all. Onto the inside, as you can imagine, we haven't got anything really going on down here. And the other thing you might notice is the total lack of locating pin marks with anything under here, but that's not so much of a problem. But that's beautifully tooled, very nice, very chiseled under here. You can probably see it, the angular shape from the moulding, but actually that should work very well. Very limited detail as you might expect, obviously down here in the fuselage halves, but you know, there we go. But again, it looks like all the ejector pins are off of the parts. None of them are actually in the parts. We have got one down in here, a couple on the fuselage, but they are nicely out of the way. Everything else seems to be completely devoid of ejector pin marks, which is funny when you think you've only got one down here in the wing section, the lower wing section, which is quite a nice touch. Okay, some very nice details. And again, really, when you're looking around, you look at some of these details, that's not too bad at all. Actually, for the scale, again, beautiful work down there in the actual wheel wells. So very impressed with those. Okay, the next big sprue up, as you can see down in here, pretty loaded with all these tiny little parts. And again, something we're speaking about, it is a kit that is multiple versions of this out there, so a lot of this you're not going to use, so just be mindful about your part numbers when you're working your way through. So down here at the top we've got those wheel well tops, we've got some aerials, we're not going to be using those, the seats. Again, this is the A-5 version, which is the fighter version. I think it's the F that had this extended fuselage bottom down here and there. So we've got fuel tanks, bombs, various things, doors open and closed, obviously positions, and then we've got some nice details around. As you can see, we've got undercarriage parts, nose spinners, okay, and generally just working our way around here. Different types of props. The giant big paddle one down here versus the thinner one. Again, check your versions to make sure you're all okay. But as you can see, a lot of these gun barrels and aerials and all these little sway brace holders and everything else, beautifully done. Some very nice details in these. Very nicely molded. Instrument panel top, the exhausts, these are down here and everything else. And as you're making your way around, all these parts showing very nicely. Okay, the hubs are probably a little bit overkill, having to have separate hubs and tyres in this scale, but again, it's a nice little touch to have. The engine's pretty basic, but again, for the scale, I think it's totally usable. Instrument panel sides, as you can imagine, working our way through. There's a leading edge vent door on the front, and all the other parts, as you can see, working your way through. The cockpit itself, again, just showing its scale really. It is a little tiddly one, but again, no problem with these at all. And even right down to this guy down in here, which is obviously that main spar running through the wings, very nicely detailed. On the blind side, no problem at all. All the doors and that are missing ejector pins, which is lovely, which makes very easy builds running right the way through. And even to that nice combing texture down there in the wheel wells, no problem with that whatsoever. Some very nice touches. Very fine, very crisp moulding on something so small. Now down here is the obligatory, have as many canopies as you need for a 190 on this beautiful circular area, but generally the quality of that moulding is fantastic. Very clear, no problem. I can see through all of those with no problems at all. That is very, very nice. All of that completely blemish free, devoid of any scratches, mismoulding or blemishes or anything else. That's as clear as you're going to get in this scale. In fact, that's probably the clearest I've ever seen moulding in 72nd like that. So that is very, very nice. So there we go. At the end of the day, it's 1/72 scale, but it's amazing these days how the detail and the quality have come down from the larger kit and making its way down. This is good as you're going to find any mainstream 1/48 scale kit out there. The riveting detail, the surface detail, right the way down to the decals, and all of those parts are absolutely beautiful. So if you are a return to the hobby, perhaps you want to change. Recently, I have made a bit of a switch. I've been building right the way up to 1/24 scale. We've done a little bit of 1/32. 172nd, we've done some 48th, and recently I've done a couple of 172nd kits as well, and it really is nice. They go together relatively with no problem at all. You can pop them in there, get going with the kit, get it built within a day or two, and then you're into painting and weathering. So perhaps if your mojo is just failing you a little bit, you get bogged down with some of those bigger projects, it's quite nice to have a go at one of these kits, something that you can get on with, get your teeth into, and get your mojo back. So that is the Eduard 172nd scale FW190 A-5 Weekend Edition.